11-year-old Evan Kennedy is in a wheelchair because his muscles don't function well. That also affects his ability to speak. But painting with his fingertips is one way he expresses himself.
I like to look at flowers and trees and the sky and then paint them.
Evan was thrilled to have his colorful paintings displayed at an art show at Jean Baton Swindel's Resource Center, part of Providence Child Center. Using a speech communication device, Evan explains why he paints.
Sometimes I paint just because I want to. Mostly, I paint how I feel.
He works with a speech-language pathologist here, a resource his parents are grateful for.
We've been accessing the Swindell Center for several years, primarily for information that helps us understand our son better, how to work with him, how to help him interact and communicate.
Bill Swindells and his late wife Anne didn't have these kind of resources when their daughter Jean was born. It was the 1950s, and physicians routinely kept quiet about disabilities.
We didn't know what was wrong, and she clearly was handicapped. Fortunately for us, my aunt had a friend in San Francisco who was head of pediatrics in a big hospital there. And he saw her and he just told her right away.
Jean was diagnosed with Down syndrome and placed in a residential care facility in California. As she grew older, Jean often came to Oregon to spend time with her parents and 3 siblings.
She was kind, almost to a fault, and completely benevolent, fiercely loyal to friends, and only had minor blemishes of character, mostly surrounding peanut butter.
Jean died in 1990 at the age of 33. To honor her memory, her parents helped establish the Swindells Resource Center, where other parents could find the kind of answers that challenged them when Jean was young.
When you have a difficult birth or a child with whatever the special needs are, you need answers. You need people to hold your hand, and maybe people who've been through it or at least know what to expect. That's so much of the battle of having a child who is not a mainstream child.
I've never spoken with a family, but I've had at least a half a dozen medical professionals stop me and ask if I was associated, and they can't say enough about the center, that they have a place to refer parents.
When my wife and I moved into our current home, our next door neighbors came and introduced themselves and said, by the way, do you by any chance know anything about the Jean Swindell Center? When our daughter was born, we needed to turn to that center, and we're so grateful for it, and we can't thank your family enough.
The next-door neighbors, Christine and Greg Nagel, have 2 children, 7-year-old Spencer and 11-year-old Joe. Joe was born with a sensory integration disorder, which affects her reaction to touch, smell, taste, and movement.
When we were given the diagnosis, it was a relief, but at the same time, it's like, well, what does this mean?
Then they discovered Swindell's Resource Center. Staff members told them about classes and shared specific books that helped the Nagels better understand the sensory issues Joe was experiencing.
It's this beautiful space. The staff is amazing. The shelves are stocked with books that you couldn't even have imagined could be written. Cover to cover, it was just one parent after the next talking about their kid who was like mine and things that worked for them, and finally I had strategies that I could use at home.
Knowing that Joe was going to be different, I knew that I would have to be different, and having those resources available and those classes available were really helpful in letting me learn how to be a different parent.
Joe excels in many things. She's in a school for gifted students. She is social, and she likes showing off her Barbies.
My favorite Barbie is Jessica Dents. I've had Jessica Dents for a really long time.
Every time there's been something that should be a significant setback, she's overcome it. She's moved beyond it, and she's just, it's amazing. And it's been very helpful to have resources that can help her and allow her to become that.